حضراتكم مشاهدينا الكرام من مركز
viewers from the Menara Convention Center, we salute to you, and we now have the coverage for the celebration of the Mother's Day for 2022 that will be held this year, entitled for The Egyptian Woman is the Key for Life. Our dear viewers, we salute you in such a unique day that we wait for each year to celebrate the Egyptian women who've been able to accomplish lots of achievements in various fields throughout the previous years. His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Egypt, has enabled women and empowered her on all levels, economically, psychologically, and legally. Lots of fields where the Egyptian woman has been able to accomplish lots of achievements. We have great attendance today for the Day of the Egyptian Women, great gathering for women and public figures from various domains and fields to witness the celebration of this year, Mother's and Women's Day. So we celebrate half of the society represented by the women. Women is not just the half of the society, but it also resembles the awareness of the whole community along with her surrounding communities in various fields. Woman is the mother, the friend, the inspirational wife to all her contacts. We celebrate the Day of the Egyptian Woman on the 16th of March, which is the day where the Egyptian woman has played the role to announce her demands for her due rights, where she announced to be equally dealt with just like men. Also, it's the day where she called for her rights in elections, in voting, and in announcing her rejection for all situations that may alter the comfort life for women. So, dear viewers, now we are in this month of March celebrating the Egyptian Women's Day, and now we have the arrival of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Egypt, and his First Lady, who are honoring us by attending this unique year in March to celebrate the Egyptian woman. Now we have received His Excellency, President Abdel Fatah El Sisi, the President of the Arab Republic of Egypt, to the venue of the celebration in the Menara Convention Center to celebrate the Day of Egyptian Women. And His Excellency has used to honor us and to honor lots of symbols of the Egyptian successful women in various domains. Moreover, he also used to honor the ideal woman and ideal mother. For this year, we have the Ideal Woman competition sponsored by the Ministry of Social Solidarity, and it has lots of criteria. This competition for the ideal woman and the ideal mother that's organized by the Ministry of Social Solidarity has got a number and list of criteria that reflect the level of the services and the capacities of these women to fulfill all the needs of their sons, even with the absence of her husband. Now we have His Excellency, along with his First Lady, taking a picture along with the honored women and with the ideal mothers that will be honored this year in various domains. Those women have been able to achieve lots of milestones throughout their life, and also the ideal mother has been able to achieve real milestones in her life. Such mothers were able to survive and to keep and defend their sons from all hards and to keep them on the life track. In 1920, Huda Sharawi has called for the first women federation and also called for upscaling the level of women and to have equity with women, with men in terms of legislations, and also for women to have the right to get educated throughout the whole educational levels along with the marriage conditions. And afterwards we got a group of women who joined the University of Cairo, and in the constitution of 1950 the Egyptian woman has got the right for electing, but actually, and with the due respect of His Excellency the President of the Republic of Egypt, to empower women, we got a list of resolutions that has empowered the Egyptian women in the economic, social and political and even legal life, and also taking into consideration the psychological aspects. So we have lots of laws and regulations that have been released for the women to empower them on all various levels, along with a set of legislations to protect and defend women from physical and psychological impacts. Also to have the survival project for life standard, which is being called Muwadda, and this project is very significant as it qualifies Egyptian women to help raising up her children properly. It's the actual bacon and actual fundamental for the composition of the well communities. Women is the actual pillars that can play the role in taking care of the children. Women is just like the tree with its leaves can have this great shadow for their contacts and sons, providing care and raising up them properly. If we will talk also about education, all of this comes under the responsibility played by women as a supporting beacon to her family members and children.
شهدت أيضا السيدة انتصار
Sisi, the First Lady, also witnessed the celebration for the Egyptian women, which was entitled "The Egyptian Woman is the Beacon of Success." And she has acknowledged the great efforts played by the country throughout a number of initiatives like Haya Karima and the early detection for the breast cancer for women. And actually those initiatives have played very fundamental and profound role that's been taking care of the women healthcare. Also taking care of the women's wellness and well-being socially and medically. It's not just supporting women, but also the whole family. So as long as we have well-being women, this will have in return very good calibers of women in the communities, for the communities and for the families throughout the various opportunities. Women in Egypt have got to great level and have got great calibers and positions like the rest of the great ministers that we have got in our government, along with also parliament members and senate members. So this also reflects to which extent the Egyptian community has been developed and the belief of the political leadership with the pivotal role played by women. Dear viewers, March is the month of celebrating women, and if the 16th of March is the day for celebrating women and the 21st of March is the Mother's Day, also the International Women's Day, it's the 8th of March. So in 1977, precisely, the United Nations has announced celebrating the International Day for Women, and this day has been selected for the great number of women in New York, for around 1,500 women who were asking for the rights and having the working hours, for having suitable working hours and to have equal wages for those working hours, in addition to also their right for cascading votes, which is also sort of the political empowerment that women seek to have. Egypt was one of the top countries that has announced the political right for women, and particularly speaking, in the 1965 Constitution, women has given the right to elect, and this was one of the steps that early has been taken as a pioneer steps from Egypt to empower women on great level. So, dear viewers, the celebration of the Egyptian women, which is entitled "Women as the Key for Life," we will witness a number of paragraphs and topics through the celebration. Also, we have a speech of Dr. Maya Morsi, the head of the National Council of Women, along with Her Excellency Dr. Najina Qabbaj, Minister of Social Solidarity, along with another remarks for Dr. Hala Said, the Minister of Planning. And for sure, the speech of His Excellency, the President of the Arab Republic of Egypt, President Abdel Fatah El Sisi, along with the documentary movie entitled For Women is Secret of Life, and it's the slogan that we got for the celebration of this year. Also today we will have some topics about the Egyptian governmental bodies that have been providing, supporting and empowering women. So the numerous institutions that are concerned with the role of the women played in the communities and that are concerned precisely with empowering women and providing women with all of their due rights and to have equity along with males. So those institutions have got also great concern and support from the Egyptian government, and also they will have the concession and distinguished prize in this field. And without further ado, we should not forget about the mother and the wife of our great martyrs, the symbols of the Egyptian women who pays all what they have for the safety stability of their of the country. So they provide their sons and their husbands just for the sake of the stability and security of their nations. So also today we will honor a number of the mothers of the martyrs as memorandum for their great role and the great effort they played and provided to their homeland. And also this comes as emphasizing the role of the patriotism, which is the main base for raising up our children for the great principles and conceptions that they can acquire accordingly from the related institutions, whether the institutions are religious, educational, or even other likewise institutions. But at the end of the day, women and the mother, they are the fundamental and the pivotal source for giving the fundamental understandings, conceptions, and for raising up the awareness of their family members. Also, the Egyptian women on the 30th of June have played a great role in raising awareness of their sons and the communities where they get into the streets asking for the rights of their children. And as the celebration that we got on the 16th of March for the Egyptian women who got into the streets raising up the flags and that's carrying the slogan for Red Crescent, they also have made the same thing on the 3rd of June, announcing their refusal for any changes in the society, for any modification of the community standards, and they were asking for the rights through the 30th of June revolution. Afterwards, we also got accumulated participation in the political celebrations like the parliament elections, senate elections, along with the presidential elections. So on all of those events, women have played great role through the voting campaigns, and they were able to make real change. They were able to motivate the whole families to go into the campaigns and to play the role. And this was maybe one of the new phases for women that we didn't used to see as before. So the women have been playing the role inside homes or even outside homes on political level through their participation and involvement in the elections, whether as candidates or as cascading their votes, and also to make sure that despite the potential physical and psychological impact that they would have got, however, they've been able to participate in all of the related and various political aspects. So women have got great support, whether from the government itself or from the political leadership, and also from the National Council for Women that plays a pivotal role in various situations and spare no effort to support women. Our dear viewers, today while we're celebrating this day for the Egyptian women, we have to remember the great role played by women in our communities. So here I would like to see this opportunity to salute and appreciate the whole women in Egypt, all women that are able to play their role through knowledge, education and awareness as these are the basics for the Egyptian community by which the Egyptian women can acquire to receive all of their educational degrees. Meanwhile, this will help women to get more knowledge about the various researches in various villages, cities, provinces, and governorates. So we have consistent raising awareness for women educationally, medically, and politically. And this happens through the various initiatives that are provided to the Egyptian women. And in order to make sure that those can raise up their awareness, especially with the initiatives of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Egypt, like the early detection for breast cancer, and such initiative that has enabled women to have well-being survival and involvement in their positions and families. So such initiative, which can be conducted through the mobile convoys with the medical calibers who conduct this early detection, and that they go to women directly in their places, which is really has been uniquely able to empower the well-being and the wellness of the women. Also, women have got great concern in various initiatives. It's usually the main focus of women. The arrival of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Egypt, and the First Lady.
السلام عليكم. كل سنة وانتم طيبين جميعا. اتفضلوا استريحوا.
Please be seated. Your Excellency, President Abdel Fatah El Sisi, the President of the Republic of Egypt, Her Excellency, the First Lady, distinguished attendees, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and many happy returns of the day. The great women of Egypt, the actual bomb, the actual river of life in Egypt. This is how we usually have His Excellency acknowledgement and definition for the women in Egypt. This is the actual level of women that will usually be in our hearts. Today, we're gathered once again to witness the celebration for honoring the Egyptian women. Such unique day that has become an annual tradition that we wait for each year, through which we send messages of greeting and appreciation to all Egyptian women, appreciating what they have accomplished for their families, for their communities and their homelands, in light of the political will that support them and support their role and pave their ways to enable them to reach to the leading positions so women can live the best eras and to have usually shiny life. Now you will have the shiny number documented nurses.
تستمر نجاحات المرأة المصرية في شتى وكافة المجالات، فكل عام وأنتن الأمل، كل عام وأنتن رمز العطاء والتضحية، كل عام وأنتن الحياة.
Every year you're the symbol of life. Now with the song of You're the Life for Nisma Mahbub.
كل طلعت شمس، كل طلعت شمس وبداية يوم جديد. انتي بتنجحي في التحدي، انتي بتنجحي في التحدي، ومكانتك بتزيد. بكرة بكرة ليكي، بكرة الدنيا واثقة فيكي، تستمري في الحكاية وتكتبي المجد بإيديكي. بكرة بكرة ليكي، بكرة الدنيا واثقة فيكي، تستمري في الحكاية وتكتبي المجد بإيديكي، تكتبي المجد بإيديكي. عديتي بصعب كتير، عديتي بصعب كتير، عديتي بصعب كتير، ووصلتي لحتة بعيد مع كل طلعت شمس وبداية يوم جديد. بكرة بكرة ليكي، بكرة الدنيا واثقة فيكي، تستمري في الحكاية وتكتبي المجد بإيديكي. يلي حياتك في ايدك وبقيتي حرة فيها، عندك احلام كتير وخلاص هتحققيها. يلي حياتك في ايدك وبقيتي حرة فيها، عندك احلام كتير وخلاص هتحققيها مع كل طلعت شمس وبداية يوم جديد. بكرة بكرة ليكي، بكرة الدنيا واثقة فيكي، تستمري في الحكاية وتكتبي المجد بإيديكي.
السيدات والسادة الحضور الكرام، على مدار
Distinguished
22
attendees,
عاما
throughout 22 years, the National Council for Women was the actual support for all Egyptian women and the one that seeks its rights and the actual believer in the involvement and empowerment of women. And now, with the speech of Her Excellency Dr. Maya Morsi, the head of the National Council for Women, the floor is yours.
فخامة السيد الرئيس عبد الفتاح السيسي رئيس الجمهورية، السيدة الفاضلة حرم السيد الرئيس، السيدات والسادة الحضور الكريم، كل عام وكل امرأة عظيمة تعيش عصرا ذهبيا يؤمن لها كافة الحقوق والحريات، عظيمة بلا حدود وتحلم بلا حدود، وتفخر أمام العالم بأن تساندها إرادة مصرية واعية مستقلة، فسنجعل
So solution for whoever found that there are people trying to deconstruct the support and fence of the country, but they supported, and great support and appreciation for those who were believing in their countries and leaders. solution and great appreciation for those who were trying to support and to give all what they have. Your Excellency, we are blessed to have your humanity on earth. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished attendees, my speech today is an acknowledgement and testimonial for the history. Dreams have become a reality. After 72 years of demands, we are happy today to have this year for the first time in the Egyptian history to have actual lawyers and judges and prosecutors. Thanks and great appreciation to all of you in all of your positions. And once again, the secret is the supporting political will that has been enabling and supporting and boosting all of the Egyptian rights. History will write that it was Your Excellency who spared no effort to support Egyptian women to be hired in all of the positions in Egypt with no discrimination. Distinguished attendees, the National Council for Women, which is the actual homeland for women, works through all of our centers, through Haya Karima program and the Supporting Families initiative in all of the centers, and we have the support from the government on all levels to make sure that we can economically support women for the principles of the initiatives. And this year we also have got the recycling of the agriculture waste, and also to raise awareness of the digitalization and to support the marketing services for entrepreneurs, and also to provide all of the handicrafts, in addition to also supporting the usage of technology to use it economically. So as we celebrate also today to get the ID number million for free for the women who deserve the care, and we work for raising awareness on the population topics in collaboration with Al-Azhar Sharif and the Church, along with the Ministry of Endowment and Ifta House, by the great number of scholars and preachers. And also we have the raising awareness programs that are targeting parents and sons. And since we believe the investment in girls will have the fruits in the future by having great women, so we work on supporting them with all of the social, economic and medical awareness that can enable them to have better selections for their life. Dear Excellency, the distinguished attendees, the Tahwisha application, the first application for saving, it was the actual fruit of collaboration with the Central Bank of Egypt, which is the actual application for the digital application that used to have another version in the previous villages. It's an actual quantum leap to have non-momentary digital center, which helps the National Council for Women, as for the first time in Egypt we have become the agents, banking agents, which is a bank with all of 80 capacities, moving from one home to another, providing all of the services, related services. Your Excellency and distinguished attendees, we pay a great focus for the awareness, as it's the main change in the communities, and we use all of the methods by drama, by social media platforms, technological new methods, along with getting into knocking the doors in all of the suburb and villages areas. Distinguished attendees, 2021 has acknowledged release of a number of legislations and amendments to the laws to empower the defend and protection, such as the criminal laws of the FGM, and along with other number of laws that support the defense of women in transportation, and also to lift all of the restrictions on their night working hours, and also representing women through the banking councils and the code of conduct to stop and prevent any sort of harassment inside the company's environment. For the first time, we have the Prime Minister's resolution to have the campus center to defend women from all of the shapes and aspects of harassment. And also the National Council for Women has accredited and ratified the first national system for all of anti-violence programs, and we have expanded the protection units and the medical response units. Dear distinguished attendees. What the Egyptian woman has reached to is an actual pride, and it's one of those lighting circles in our heaven. Empowering women has become an actual drive in the international conferences and events. This year, Egypt has hosted the eighth ministerial conference. Egypt has received the chairmanship and the chairperson of the conference, and we're so happy that along with the Islamic collaboration organization and along with the UN, work for the empowering women and equity between genders to be one of those leading principles. And also Egypt has released a regional statement for the economic empowerment for the role of women currently in Geneva. And also we got the Egyptian vision for environment and climate change and women in the UN Women in New York. Your Excellency, the Egyptian woman has got its characteristics as brave, as patience, hope, and strength. She's the strong caliber for her homeland, and I can remember along with Your Excellency when you stated for one of the girls in Sharm el-Sheikh, no, do not feel afraid. Inside Egypt there is no place to fear. Our country is provinely protected. And I just want to reiterate that the echo of these words were really great for all Egyptian women and girls. Your Excellency, you have promised and you have made up your promise. You are supporting and promoting the topics related to women. So we got the new republic that respects and appreciates women, as I believe that their empowerment is one of those fundamental assets of human being. Thank you, Your Excellency.
بسمة، منال وسلمى، 3 بنات من نفس القرية. ولأن زمان كانوا بيحتاجوا ضمانات عشان يقدروا يفتحوا حسابات في البنك، بقوا لما يحبوا يحوشوا أو يقترضوا بيكونوا مجموعة ويجيبوا صندوق ليه 3 أقفال، كل قفل بتاخد مفتاحه واحدة منهم. ولأن مصر النهارده بتسعى للشمول المالي وبتطبق التحول الرقمي، كان لازم نغير الطرق التقليدية لمجموعات الادخار والإقراض ونخليها تتم بشكل إلكتروني. وبالفعل قدر المجلس القومي للمرأة بالتعاون مع البنك المركزي المصري إنه يكون وكيل مصرفي للبنك الزراعي المصري ويكون حساب بنكي مشترك لكل مجموعة مرتبط بتطبيق على الموبايل وكارت ميزة للدفع الإلكتروني، وده بيتم من خلال الميسرة المالية التابعة للمجلس. والنهارده بنعلن إطلاق تطبيق تحويشة عشان يكون البديل الرقمي الجديد، واللي من خلاله تقدر كل واحدة في المجموعة تحوش وتقترض بأمان وبكل سهولة. وعن طريق المسح الإلكتروني لبطاقتهم الشخصية، التطبيق هيساعدهم في رفع بياناتهم، وبيتم إصدار كارت ميزة لكل واحدة منهم، وبعدها بيتعمل حساب مشترك للمجموعة مرتبط ب3 أساور إلكترونية بتكون مع المسؤولين عن المجموعة، وكل ده بيتم في دورة مدتها 52 أسبوع. وفي نهاية كل دورة بتتوزع عليهم فلوسهم مع الأرباح، زائد المبالغ اللي تم تحصيلها من غرامات التأخير والرسوم الإدارية على القروض، ده غير فايدة البنك السنوية. كمان هيساعدهم إنهم يحددوا احتياجاتهم وأولوياتهم ويرشدوا استهلاكهم ويعرفوا إزاي يدخروا ويحسبوا القرض وإزاي يقدروا يسددوا. وبكده نقدر نحول كل قرية لمجتمع غير نقدي، نحسن أحوالها بالمشروعات الجمعية الخضراء، ونساعد كتير من السيدات يلاقوا فرصة للمشاركة في سوق العمل، يوفروا بيها حياة أفضل ليهم ولأسرهم، واللي في النهاية هيدعم جهود الدولة في دمج سيدات وفتيات منتجة وفاعلة في المجتمع. تطبيق تحويشة، البنك في جيبك.
إذا هنيئا لكل سيدات مصر إطلاق تطبيق تحويشة، هو أول تطبيق رقمي لمجموعات الادخار والإقراض في القرى. السيدات والسادة الحضور الكرام،
Distinguished entities, ladies and gentlemen, empowerment of women economically and giving them the real chance to play their active role in the society is the actual bargain of the whole country to build up and upscale productive women, and it's the beginning of their path towards new destiny, new life that give them better life standard and to their family along with their society. Now we witness another documentary film by the National Council for Women entitled Life.
هي نص الدنيا والسند اللي بجد. في عز الدقيقة هي الضحكة، وساعة الأزمة هي الجدعة، وفي وقت الشدة هي أول إيد تتمد. ومهما كانت الصعوبات اللي بتواجهها فضلنا معاها خطوة بخطوة، بندعمها وبنطور مهارتها، والنهاردة بنساعدها تبدأ حكاية جديدة قادرة فيها تحقق كل اللي بتتمناه. حكاية نجاح عنوانها حياة.
الدور الكبير اللي قامت بيه بنت مصر خلال 8-9 سنين اللي فاتوا دور المفروض ان التاريخ هيقف قدام منه كتير قوي ويقدره.
حاولت ان انا اساعد امي في استخراج رقم قومي، لان انا كنت فاكره ان هي ساقط قيد، ولكن اكتشفت ان الموضوع اكبر من كده. ليها اخت تحمل نفس الاسم، ولكن للاسف ثبت وفاتها، فاصبح قيد امي قيد وفيات.
So my mother was registered as dead. We've got lots of hardships for any governmental institution. And then we got the National Council for Women to contact with the civil communities of being able to have the birth certificate to my mother. This was such a historical day for my mother and for myself. It was the beginning of her actual existence. She has lived around 48 years with no documentation. At the beginning of the project, I used to be in my home and I heard my daughter saying that there is a seminar, and then I found people talking about really good things, and it was really beneficial to learn, and I said that I really hope to have anything that can increase our income. And after a while, after a couple seminars, they said that they would provide us with the appropriate machineries that can enable us to have income, so we can have our own products that can increase our income. And then I found that I got another people coming and asking for my products. I was really happy. I was not able to believe that there are some demand on my products, and I've been able to have some money. I've been able to cover some of the needs of my sons. I said that I shouldn't be just live in the same exact conditions. I'm a human. I should have the right to work, to have my own project, but I wasn't having the assets to enable me to do this. So I got into the saving groups, and the facilitators came to us and they educated us how we can study project, how we can implement, how we can study the market, how we can have visibility study. And they have educated us about this way, how can I be able to sell my products. So Misa card system is really good. It's really securing that I will be having my money saved in the Misa card, and that they will be saved in the banks. So I have consulted my husband. I told him that I will have a loan from the saving group, and he was happy and he motivated me to do it, to have a project so that I can help my family and sons with. At the beginning, I was not able to know some of the details of those textile systems, and I just was relying on my husband. So the National Council for Women announced the initiative, so I wanted to participate with them. So I started to know about the textiles. I started to know how can I have a necklace or bracelets, and also we learned what was the difference between the different leathers. And this has enabled me to develop my work. And at the end, the council has really also helped me to provide me with the raw materials, to help me also in the ideas for the designs for those loom stitches, so I can send back as products, and then they can market market such products through the events and conferences.
اشتغلت بمجال الصناعات الغذائية.
I worked in the field of nutrition projects, and I was really fond of the natural chocolate. So such a chance was provided through the National Council for Women through a tournament that I was able to learn about everything related to chocolate preparation and powering, and then also through the National Council for Women has given us the opportunity to participate through various councils. This has helped me also to have belief in myself and to produce through my home. And then I started to market, and I also has created a fan page on social media and started to have direct contact with related fields for production of chocolate through various campaigns and wedding planner through all the fields. I'm really happy. I see that I'm at the beginning of my approach, and I really encourage all women to work for their dreams and that they will be able to help increase in the income. This is just the beginning. Lots of details in the story have not yet been released. Details in the life stories of women and girls who live in New Republic, where they believe that all women will be stronger. And now we see the results of what we worked on. Tomorrow, our daughters will continue the same path. I also will work for having my ID. I will keep learning and educating. I may become one of those ministers or great entrepreneurs. Why not? Egyptian woman is the key for life. Yes, the Egyptian woman is the actual key for life, and numerously the dream is the actual beginning of life. By the role of the Ministry of Social Solidarity for helping the economic and social conditions of human and women lives. Now we'll have the speech of Her Excellency Dr. Naveen Qabbaj, the Minister of Social Solidarity. The floor is yours. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate, Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Egypt, President Abdel Fatah El Sisi, Your Excellency, the First Lady, the distinguished attendees, ladies and gentlemen, girls and women, mothers of Egypt, the great vessel of blood of this nation, the fine and soft power of this homeland, the indicator of its development and civilization. Many happy returns of your day. Many happy returns for the day where Egypt is sustainable, settled, and secured till the tomb day. Egypt has lived in the last decade hard conditions, and the worst of this era was to challenge how to get back the stability of the country and to build up the principles of the modern civilizations. And risk and fear to lose our homeland was attacking us, and in all of the human homes there was one of those unique patriot women. And as this secured homeland, women have helped in raising up the revolutions against maneuvers and risks. They will continue working for the revival of the Egyptian bodies and institutions against illiteracy and attacks. Your Excellency, you've been paying great concern to alter the misconception of women in Egypt, and Your Excellency have enabled to give the great space to empower their roles and their involvement in the building and the managing of the country institutions. So Your Excellency have played your great role in the equity, along with the moderation of the misconception through the media and against all of the practices that have taken security of women.
السادة الحضور، إن وزارة التضامن الاجتماعي شديدة الحرص على مؤازرة وتعظيم حقوق النساء والأمهات حتى تصلن إلى محطة الانطلاق والمشاركة الفعالة المؤثرة. ففي محور الحماية الاجتماعية بلغت نسبة السيدات المستفيدات من تكافل وكرامة 74% من إجمالي المستفيدات، وتبنى البرنامج منذ بدايته منهجاً صريحاً للاستثمار في البشر ولتنمية الأسرة المصرية.
And to develop the
فكان الدعم
Egyptian
مشروطاً
families.
بتعليم وصحة
So it
الأطفال
was supporting
وبالصحة الإنجابية
education and
للأمهات.
the well-being
ثم
of
استحدثنا
children and
شرط
women.
عدم
And then we got
تزويج
another
القاصرات.
condition to not
ثم
have early marriage.
اقتصرنا الدعم على طفلين
And
فقط
then we
لحد
got also
أقصى
the
في كل
support to
أسرة،
be just for
تماشياً مع
2
سياسات
children
الدولة
for each
للحد من
family,
الزيادة
which was
السكانية.
in line with
كما
the
تمكن
new
برنامج
direction in
تكافل
the country
وكرامة من
for
استخراج
decreasing
أوراق
population.
ثبوتية ل 850
And also we
ألف
got
أم وطفلة، سواء كانت
850,000
شهادة ميلاد أو زواج أو طلاق.
documentations, whether for
أما أمهات
certificates
وزوجات
of
الشهداء
birth,
البواسل
marriage, or
الشرفاء،
divorce.
فقد
And for
وجهتم
the great
سيادتكم
mothers,
بمضاعفة التعويضات
that Your Excellency
لأسرهن
has worked
بنسبة
on
100%
doubling with 100% of
تكريماً
their
لهن على ما
compensation
قدموه من
as
قرة
appreciation
أعينهن
for what
ومن
they have
فلذات
given as
أكبادهن
they lost
فداءً
their
لمصر.
sons,
واحتلت
the
النساء
martyrs
57%
for the
من
stability of
إجمالي
our
المستفيدين
homeland.
من
Women have
التعويضات،
got around
سواء كانت
75% of
ابنة
the
أو أم
compensations
أو أرملة.
for those martyrs, whether
وتحرص
as
الوزارة
divorced or
أيضاً على
daughters or
الحماية
mothers.
التأمينية
Also,
للسيدات.
the ministry works
وقد
for
بلغ عدد
the
المستفيدات
insurance
من
for all of the
المعاشات 6
beneficiaries. We
ملايين
got
سيدة
around 6 million
بنسبة 58% من
beneficiaries with
إجمالي
around
أصحاب المعاشات.
85% of the retired, and we also got around 3 million women insured, with around 23% of the total insured individuals. Also, the Ministry of Social Insurance also actually provide around 75% of the maternity cost, which is valid for 90 years, in same direction for the country for the electronic expense and the financial inclusion. We have worked on the MISA release for cards along with e-finance and Nasser Bank. And we have released 3 million MISA cards for those beneficiaries, and we got also around another 5 million cards for those who are entitled for the insurance, social insurance, and for those who are also beneficiaries from SMEs, and we just work on the same exact level. And as for the social access, as Your Excellency has released the strategy for human rights in last September, so we worked on developing the project of holistic strategy for the alternative care as to increase the level of the insurance and to decrease the role of the non-effective centers, because we believe in the actual role of raising up children in a family and not in centers. So we have increased the number of the guardian, the children, with around 23% increase. And in terms of protection ladies from all sorts of violence, the ministry has also developed 8 centers for the victims and survivors and upscaling their capacity. So we provide the psychological, legal and economic support for women or mothers and also their children. In addition to establishing the first center in Egypt for receiving and pre-qualifying the victims of human trafficking, and in light of the policy of the country to preserve the entity of the Egyptian family, the ministry has been able through Mawada program to preserve and maintain the entity of the families by raising awareness to 2 million 2 million of those who are about to get married in the various zones, like the new zones that have got and received the people from other random areas. Also, we got a program of 2 kifaya along with the supervision of the Ministry of Housing and Population. So we got 1 million women as a beneficiary from the Takaful and Krama program for the delivery and well-being services. We also using, we got also 30% of those women used the methods for family preserving. Also, we got other services to around 740 women, whether those women they are divorced, single, or they are wives for prisons. And also we got the fund of Nasser Social Bank pays around, or actually expenditure to around 60 million Egyptian pounds, and moreover, the Nasser Bank also provide these services to those women, whether they are elderly women or they are divorced. We have not forgot also the elder girls or women. So we got another bill resolution to preserve the rights for the retired and elderly people, to provide them the good life standard and give them the esteemed life that they deserve. The cost of the momentary support for the elderly 1.2 billion Egyptian pounds, which is around 6.3% of the total monetary support. Also, Nasser Bank has given the highest interest on the saving certificates and the saving accounts and the current investing accounts for the certificates of the elderly till it reached 3 billion pounds. And also we got total around 281,000 women, which is 1.6 billion Egyptian pounds only for women. And we have released 230,000 IDs and cards, and people and women have been benefiting from the great from monetary and non-monetary support, and also to get them back into the job and labor market, along with also accessible loans that also could be reimbursed with very few interest. So we got the number of SMEs to 320,000 projects with 2.6 billion Egyptian pounds, including Mastura, in developing the rural women, economic support for educational system children, and likewise also we get more than 60% of women who work in the informal sector till we get to 66% who work, whether in this marginalized work or in the informal or non-registered work, which also threaten their life and their security. So 20% work for are self-employed, and another 14% who work for others. Ladies and gentlemen, Egypt still works through all of the great challenges in its right path, very proudly and strongly, with belief that the good will be there, even if it's after a long time, and with great support and belief for women that they would spare no effort to provide from their will and hope to enrich the awareness and in promoting the local and national economy, and to achieve the social justice and for the improvement and progress of Egypt. At the end of my speech, let's all pray for our mothers, the belated mothers who left us, and that we still feel that they are around, seeing us from above. We still have the smell of their touch in our hands, and their words are in our hearts. Maybe we lose them physically, however, till the end of the day, we have their spirits surrounding us. Thank you so much, Your Excellency.
الأم مدرسة، إذا أعددتها أعددت شعبا طيب الأعراق. دور الأم أساسي في تحسين جودة حياة أسرتها ومجتمعها. ويا سلام بقى لو الأم دي بتربي ولادها وفي نفس الوقت عندها رسالة بتحققها لبلدها. في كل قرى مصر في ستات كتير قوية ورائعة، حقهم علينا نوصل ليهم وناخد بإيديهم لبر الأمان. وقوة مصر الناعمة ووعيها وسلوكياتها هي جزء من الأمان ده، ومن شمالها لجنوبها هتلاقي نماذج تبهرك، ايد فيها رسالتها والايد التانية جوه بيتها. الرائدة الاجتماعية جند كبيرة في التغيير المجتمعي اللي رئيسنا بيحلم بيه، واللي بلدنا تستحقه علشان تتغير للأفضل وتتغير بجد وبعمق.
التعليم والتربية أساس الأخلاق.
خلي بالك عليها، خلي بالك هنيها، خلي بالك انت السمرة، خلي بالك.
40 سنة يمكن من 83 أول رائدة. هم المشروع ده عملوه عندنا إحنا تنمية المرأة، وعايزين الرائدات الريفية. إحنا هناخدك في مشروع الرائدة الريفية، وأنت أول واحدة. والرائدة الريفية حلقة وصل بينها ما بين رئيس الوحدة، لأن هي السر كله في الرائدة. كانت عندي 30 سنة وبخيط للعرايس وعامل ستاير. أروح السجل أخذهم معاي، أروح مكتب الصحة أخذهم معاي، عشان مش عارفين أنا بمشي معاهم. وأنا رائدة ليه؟ مش لخدمة المجتمع، خدمة الناس. لفيت البلد، مرة دخلت 27 بيت من الصبح لليل. دلوقتي كل البلد دي أنا داخل بيوتها. يا ابويا البلد كلها دخلتها، قول 2000 البلد كلها، ولا بيت ما دخلتوش. في واحدة طيب متجوزة ما عندهاش قسيم، جابت ولد، الولد كبر، طلعنا القسيم شهادتها على ولدها، جارت علي ومسكتين. الله يخليكي، الله يبارك فيكي، الله يخليكي، تسلمي، الله يبارك فيكي ويديك الصحة والعافية. وقعدت تعيط المهم. اللي عملت لها معاش، أرامل، مطلقات، شيخوخة، قانون طفل. الرائدة الريفية ادان دفعة وادان قوة وادان شجاعة. بقيت يعني بمشي يعني بثقة، والناس أول ما أمشي بيشاوروا علي. دعوات الناس يعني مستجابة، وإن شاء الله يعليكي يا رب، ياخذ بيدك يا مكة.
جوكر ده
شوف زي صفية زغلول، نظرت صفية زغلول ما شاء الله.
ماما بالنسبة لي الروح والحياة، لأن هي أمي وأبويا وأختي وصديقتي. بحس إني فرحانة إنها بتخدم الناس والناس بيحبوها، وطبعا من محبتها هي الناس بيحبوني أنا.
عشان أنا رائدة ريفية، الرئيس عيني في المجلس، بعتوا كلمين مكتب الرئيس، قال لي إحنا مكتب الرئيس. ليه؟ أيوة الحاجة مكة. قلت له أيوة. قال لي رح تتعيني في المجلس القومي للمرأة. رئيس الوزراء زيك قاعد كده وأنا قاعدة كده، فقعت زغزتين. قال لي كده. وجينا عاد الاجتماع الثاني، الرئيس قابلنا ورحنا برضه بقينا نقول اسامينا عشان الرئيس يعرف. قال لي ايوه يا حق مكه اسوان. قلت له ايوه يا ريس. ازاي ناس اسوان؟ قلت له بيحبوك وبيسلموا عليك، خصوص السيدات بيحبوك، خصوص المراه بتحبك يا ريس. قال لي انا شكرا وانا بحبك والله.
الرائدة الاجتماعية هي اللي بتحمل شعلة نور للمجتمع.
She's the actual spark of light to the community, the actual guard for the attitude and ideas of lots of families and mothers. The strong woman and mother, they are the actual fundamental for protecting and supporting her family, to enable them to have a promising future and good life standard. Each man should stand beside his daughter, sister, mother and wife. This is the actual competent man. Woman means understanding, and this is the actual wealth. The awareness of the Egyptian women is the actual home, the actual homeland. With their awareness, Egypt will be changed for a better future. With awareness, Egypt for sure will be changed for better. Distinguished
طالما كان
attendees,
تمكين المرأة
those
المصرية
really the empowerment for
تكافؤ
Egyptian
الفرص
women
هدفاً
and to
استراتيجياً
have
للدولة
the
المصرية
equity
في عهد
for
الرئيس
gender
عبد
was
الفتاح
the
السيسي
strategic
وهو
milestone in the Arab
ركيزة
presidency, the
أساسية
President of
من
the Republic of
ركائز
Egypt, Abdel Fatah El
خطتها
Sisi, and it's also
للتنمية
one of its
المستدامة
basic
رؤية مصر
milestones for the
2030.
Egyptian
الآن
2030.
الكلمة
Now the
للدكتورة
speech
هالة
for Dr.
السعيد
Hala
وزيرة
Saeed, the
التخطيط
Minister of
والتنمية
Planning
الاقتصادية
and Economic
فتتفضل
Development. The
معالي
floor
الوزيرة.
is yours.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السيد الرئيس عبد الفتاح السيسي رئيس الجمهورية، السيدة الفاضلة حرم السيد رئيس الجمهورية، سيدات مصر العظيمات، السيدات والسادة الحضور الكريم. في هذا اليوم يسعدني أن أبعث ببرقية حب وتحية لكل الأمهات. كل عام وكل أم مصرية بخير وسعادة، كل عام ومصرنا الحبيبة في أمان وتقدم وازدهار. الحضور الكريم، قبل أكثر من 800 عام قال ابن رشد أن المرأة قادرة على ممارسة أعمال الحرب وأعمال السلم معا. قالها في حقبة كانت تعاني فيها المرأة من التهميش، إلا أن ابن رشد كان لديه قدرة على قراءة المستقبل وثقة كبيرة وإيمان شديد بقدرات المرأة وإمكانياتها، حيث أصبحت هذه المقولة حقيقة دامغة على أرض الواقع. فها نحن نرى الآن ما تحققه المرأة
what is achieved by the Egyptian women through successes in different fields. Egyptian women is always in the top front. She was always the supporter during times of crises. And she was the partner to peace. And she was able to do a lot. She was able to shoulder the responsibility. And there is no opportunity apart from the participation of women. She is the teacher, the doctor, the minister, the judge, the entrepreneur, as well as working in different fields. So we can say that today we are living her prosperous era, and it is thanks to the President who gives support to women since day one of assuming post, as he believed in the power of Egyptian women and in her patience and resilience. She was always and will always be up to this responsibility. Ladies and gentlemen, talking about the importance of economic empowerment of women is not just rhetoric or targets only the idea and the concept of gender equality. It became an economic necessity to maximize benefit from the productivity and innovation of women and the added value she achieved in a way that would contribute to sustainable development. All studies prove that reducing gender gap by 25% leads to increasing the GDP in all countries. The state of Egypt, with all its institutions, is working on enforcing the constitution regarding the civil and political rights of women, as well as creating the environment that enables women to practice those rights, be it regarding economic empowerment or developing the supportive legislative framework, in addition to raising the collective awareness as the battle to deal with stereotypes about the role of women in society. To achieve this, the issues of women and her economic, social empowerment is a very important opportunity in the vision of 2030 and all its development projects. Supporting women and their empowerment is there in the development path of the state through the planning gender responsive programs, so it is included in all development projects of the state. The state is always working on developing and supporting women through a number of initiatives like the presidential initiative Decent Life and its role in improving the standard of living of Egyptian women. This project contributes to improving the quality of life for 34 million women. It provides health services, decent housing, job opportunities to women. Also, the national project for the development of the Egyptian family that was launched a few days ago by the state. It enhances the condition of women. This development project achieves our optimum goal, and it is upgrading the quality of life for the Egyptian families, at the heart of which is women, the guardian of this family. So, the different elements of this development project achieve economic empowerment for women through training on entrepreneurship, creating job opportunities for more than 1 million women, as well as conditioned incentives to women to protect her life and to provide her with a good standard of living. Ladies and gentlemen, the efforts of the state and its work with women did not stop there. A package of programs and initiatives are implemented to invest in the potentials of Egyptian women and enable her to power and play a role in development. More than 4,000 women from 12 governorates were trained in the Egyptian Leadership Program in cooperation with UN Women and Missouri University. The program is targeting to cover all governorates by the end of this year. In addition to more than 7,000 women who were trained in training programs through the National Academy for Training and Qualification of Youth. Contributing to the effort of the state to cooperate with African countries, we trained more than 380 women leaders from 45 African countries in cooperation with the Egyptian Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Implementing the directives of the President to celebrate Women's Day, we launched a program for enhancing accessibility of women to leadership in partnership with the Ministry of Economic Development and Planning, National Council for Women, and Turin Center affiliate to UILO. Narrowing the digital gap between both genders is one of the challenges to increase women empowerment and to help her participate in the jobs of the future. The state is exerting efforts to implement the training programs for girls and women in the field of digitization and technology through She is the Digital Future. It's targeting women in governmental authorities and ministries through training 8,000 women by the end of this year. As one of the fruits of the efforts to develop the potentials of women in government institutions, the percentage of women who won Egypt's Government Excellence Award that is organized under the patronage of the President, 30% of the winners are women. In appreciation to the role of women and increasing her partnership and participation in government posts, the President, we will announce today Egypt's Award for Government Excellence for Equal Opportunities and Women Empowerment as one of Institutional Excellence Awards. In line with the National Strategy for Women Empowerment 2030, the General Financial Auditing Regulatory Authority said that 2 of the women calibers at least should be in the board of directors of companies in non-banking activities and in the board of directors of the banks and financial institutions. As a result of this, women participation in the board of directors reached 1,000 companies and banking institutions. It was 13% in 2020 and it became 13.7% in 2021. And if we'll go on with this rate, we'll exceed the international rates and reach 30% by 2025. All these efforts were crowned by the directives of the President to appoint women in the State Council and the public prosecution. In June 2021, a historical decision was made for the participation of women in the public prosecution and also in the State Council. We have seen over the past year, for the first time, a woman assuming the post of the head of the National Council for Human Rights, Ambassador Mushira Khattab. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, of course there were fruits to these efforts and continuous plans in improving the ranking of Egypt in all international indicators on women. The ranking of Egypt has improved in the political empowerment of women and in the gender gap issued by the World Forum. We have moved 55 ranks upwards. Egypt is now ranked 79 and it was 134 in 2014. Thanks to the efforts of the state to achieve financial inclusion, the number of women who have bank accounts increased by 16 million women, 136% increase between 2016 and 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, a lot of achievements and improvement in all the local and international indicators reflects the efforts exerted by the state through the support of the political leadership to improve the status of Egyptian women and enhance her position as a main partner to building the new republic. At the end, let me emphasize that March every year is weighted by the whole world to celebrate women. But I can say now with full pride that Egypt celebrates women in all months of the year. This celebration is reflected in a lot of achievements added to the appreciation of women, and this is considered to be a new pearl in the chain of appreciation to women. And women is giving every day. She is the mother, the sister, the wife, the teacher, the doctor, and before all that, she is the mother of the martyr and the hero. Thank you, and my congratulations to all Egyptian mothers. Many happy returns, and peace be upon you.
كل طريق بدايته خطوة. مفرحة مصر للتنمية المستدامة تمكين المرأة المصرية ما كانش مجرد محطة أو هدف بتحاول توصل له.
It is the vision of the state with all its institutions.
اعتبر إن الاستثمار في بناء
A country that
الإنسان هو
considered
أفضل طريق
financing and investing in building the person is the future of the new republic. That's why when we launched Egypt's Government Excellence Award under the patronage of the President, our objective was not just encouraging competition and innovation between civil servants and different government institutions, but achieve equal opportunity and gender equality. Thus, we focused on disseminating the culture of distinguishment. And we focused on training them for an institutional integrated system that provides equal opportunities to everybody. And we were able to assist a lot of women and people with disabilities and youth to win the award, be it at the level of institutional excellence or individual excellence. To increase their opportunities in participation and to encourage more institutions to include them in the government positions and enable them to do their best, we are launching the Government Excellence Award for Women Empowerment as an additional section of institutional excellence and a new incentive to achieve the sustainability of excellence and apply governance and gender equality and reach a better level for satisfaction of civil servants and citizens. The designing of the award is based on the manual of the distinguished government institution and the international expertise. To evaluate the efforts of the state, we have three main elements. And they are investment in human capital through capacity building, developing functional positions to increase in innovation. Secondly, in institutional enablers,
including raising the awareness about equal opportunity, women empowerment, in addition to achieving digitization and providing a suitable working environment for all workers that strikes the balance between the work needs and their social lives. And finally, sustainability, through the sustainability of the institutions and their commitment to applying the policies supporting women empowerment and equal opportunities, so that by the end of the day we can change the philosophy of government.
الجهاز الإداري للدولة واللي بدوره بينعكس على تحسين جودة الحياة للمواطنين وتعزيز ريادة وتنافسية مصر عالمياً.
الطريق لبكرة من النهاردة، والنهاردة مصر بتاخد خطوة جديدة لتحقيق التميز الحكومي في تمكين المرأة، خطوة بتقربها لحلم الجمهورية الجديدة وبترسم طريقها للتنمية المستدامة، الطريق لرؤية مصر 2030.
السيدات والسادة الحضور، وبالفعل تخطو مصر خطوات حثيثة لتحقيق التميز الحكومي في مجال تمكين المرأة في ظل جمهورية جديدة أبت إلا أن تعيد كتابة تاريخ المرأة المصرية لتضع الأجيال القادمة على الطريق نحو مستقبل ينبض بالأمل ويقود لتحقيق المجد. مرة أخرى كل عام وكل امرأة مصرية سعيدة ناجحة محققة ذاتها في ظل قيادة سياسية تدعم المرأة وتؤمن بقدراتها. شكرا فخامة الرئيس لدعم سيادتك وإيمانك بقدرات المرأة المصرية. سيادة الرئيس، نستأذن حضرتك الآن في استراحة قصيرة نستكمل بعدها الاحتفالية.